The north, a land of stark beauty. Towering mountains pierce the sky. Deep fjords carve into the coastline. This is Scandinavia. The year is 793 AD. The world is about to change. A people born of the sea. They are the Vikings. Whispers of their exploits would soon reach every corner of the known world. From the icy fjords of Scandinavia, they would set sail. Their longships, sleek and swift, would become a familiar and terrifying sight. Overpopulation, political unrest, and a thirst for adventure all played their part. These factors would combine to propel them outwards. They would trade, raid, and settle across vast swathes of Europe and beyond, leaving an indelible mark on the world map. The year 793 AD, the raid on Lindisfarne, a monastery on the coast of England. This event would send shockwaves through medieval Europe. It marked the beginning of the Viking Age. Over the next 3 centuries, the Vikings would leave their mark on history. Their influence would be felt across continents, from the shores of North America to the heart of the Byzantine Empire. This is their story. Scandinavia, a land of extremes. Long, dark winters grip the land in an icy embrace. Summers, though short, bring bursts of vibrant life. It was in this unforgiving environment that the Vikings were forged, their character shaped by the challenges they faced. Their homes were simple, sturdy structures designed to withstand the harsh climate. Life was a constant battle against the elements. They were farmers, fishermen, and hunters, living in harmony with the natural world that surrounded them. Family and community were paramount in their society. A strong sense of kinship bound them together. They shared a rich oral tradition, stories of gods and heroes passed down through generations. By the 8th century AD, Scandinavia was undergoing a period of significant change. Its population was growing, putting a strain on resources. Land, always a precious commodity, became increasingly scarce. Competition for fertile ground intensified. Political ambition was also on the rise. Ambitious chieftains vied for power and prestige. The traditional ways of life were being challenged. The lure of riches from distant lands proved irresistible. These factors set the stage for the Viking Age. The sea was in their blood. It was their highway, their battlefield, their livelihood. From a young age, Vikings learned to navigate the treacherous waters surrounding their homeland. They became skilled shipbuilders and fearless sailors. Their longships, masterpieces of maritime engineering, were perfectly adapted for both raiding and exploration. The lure of adventure, the promise of riches, and the desire for glory beckoned them beyond the horizon. They set sail not just to conquer, but to explore, to trade, and to leave their mark on the world. The Viking longship was more than just a vessel. It was a symbol of their ingenuity, their seafaring prowess, and their ambition. Built using the clinker method with overlapping planks of wood, longships were both strong and flexible. This unique construction allowed them to withstand the rigors of ocean voyages while maintaining speed and maneuverability. Powered by both sail and oars, longships could navigate a wide range of waterways. This versatility enabled the Vikings to strike far and wide, appearing seemingly out of nowhere. The longship was the key to the Vikings' success. The Vikings believed in a world teeming with gods and monsters. Their mythology, passed down through generations in epic poems and sagas, reflected their relationship with the natural world. At the heart of their belief system was Asgard, home to the gods. Odin, the All-Father, ruled with wisdom and cunning. Thor, the god of thunder, protected mankind with his might. But the Viking world was not without its perils. Giants, trolls, and monstrous creatures lurked in the shadows. Viking society was governed by a strict code of honor. Courage, loyalty, and strength were prized above all else. To die in battle was the greatest glory, ensuring a place in Valhalla. Their social structure was hierarchical. At the top were the jarls, powerful chieftains. Freemen made up the bulk of society, farmers, craftsmen, and traders. Contrary to popular belief, women in Viking society enjoyed a surprising degree of freedom. Life wasn't all war and conquest. They enjoyed feasting, storytelling, and games. The Vikings possessed a rich and complex culture. They were skilled craftsmen, traders, and storytellers. Their artistic motifs reflected their deep connection to the natural world. These designs adorned everything from weapons and jewelry to ships and runestones. The Vikings used runes, an ancient alphabet of angular symbols. Storytelling was central to Viking culture. Their sagas preserved their history, myths, and legends. The Viking Age, though relatively short-lived, left an indelible mark on the world. Their voyages of exploration, trade, and conquest brought them into contact with diverse cultures. They established settlements in England, Ireland, France, Russia, and Iceland. Their legacy can be seen in place names, archaeological discoveries, and the enduring popularity of their myths and legends. The Vikings continue to fascinate us today. The Viking Age may be over, but its echoes can still be felt today. The Viking Age echoes with the names of legendary figures. Their exploits paint a vivid picture of a time of adventure, conquest, and extraordinary individuals. These were not just warriors, but explorers, traders, and rulers. Their stories offer a glimpse into the heart of Viking society. From the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the sun-drenched shores of the Mediterranean, these figures carved their names into history. Few names inspire as much awe and terror as Ragnar Lothbrok. A legendary Viking warrior and ruler, his exploits have captivated imaginations for centuries. Ragnar's saga tells of a fearless raider who terrorized the coasts of England and France. His most audacious feat, the Siege of Paris in 845 AD, saw his longships sail up the Seine. Betrayed and captured by King Aella of Northumbria, Ragnar met a gruesome end. His death inspired his sons to launch a massive invasion of England. Among Ragnar Lothbrok's sons, Ivar the Boneless stands out for his strategic brilliance and ruthlessness. Despite a physical impairment, Ivar possessed a keen intellect and an unyielding will. Leading the great heathen army, Ivar orchestrated the invasion of England. His military genius saw him conquer vast swathes of land. Ivar's campaigns were characterized by their strategic depth and brutal efficiency. He shattered the kingdoms of Northumbria, East Anglia, and Mercia. While many Viking sagas tell tales of raids and conquests, the story of Leif Erikson reveals a different side to these seafaring explorers. 500 years before Columbus, Leif Erikson is believed to have led a group of Vikings across the North Atlantic, landing in a place they named Vinland, likely present-day Newfoundland, Canada. Though the Vinland settlement was eventually abandoned, Leif's voyage stands as a testament to the Vikings' seafaring skills. Leif Erikson's legacy serves as a reminder that the Viking Age was not just about conquest, but also about exploration. The Viking Age was not just a series of raids, it was a tidal wave of expansion, driven by a potent mix of ambition, necessity, and opportunity. From their Scandinavian heartland, they surged outwards. Their longships, like wolves on the waves, carried them far and wide. To the west, they braved the treacherous waters of the North Atlantic, discovering Iceland, Greenland, and even the coast of North America. To the east, they ventured deep into the heart of Europe. Their longships, navigating the great rivers, penetrated far inland. They were not simply plunderers, they were settlers, traders, and explorers. The Viking Tide, once unleashed, would reshape the map of Europe and beyond. The Vikings were renowned for their ferocity in battle. Their reputation preceded them, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. They fought with a savage intensity, driven by a belief in their own strength and the favor of the gods. Their weapons, though simple, were deadly effective. The axe, in particular, was a favored tool of war, wielded with devastating force. They were also skilled swordsmen and archers, fighting with a discipline honed through years of raiding and warfare. They fought in tight formations, shields interlocked, creating an impenetrable wall of wood and steel. Their tactics were adaptable, shifting from aggressive assaults to cunning ambushes, exploiting the element of surprise. Their victories were often swift and brutal, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. But they were not invincible. They faced determined resistance from the Franks, the Saxons, and other peoples. Their victories were hard-won, and their defeats could be catastrophic. The Viking Age was not just defined by war and conquest, it was also an era of unprecedented trade and cultural exchange. The Vikings, masters of the sea, established vast trading networks, connecting distant lands and cultures. Their longships, laden with furs, timber, slaves, and other goods from the north, sailed south to the markets of Francia, Byzantium, and the Islamic world. In return, they brought back silver, silks, spices, and other luxury goods. These trading ventures brought immense wealth to Scandinavia, fueling the growth of towns and cities. The Vikings became intermediaries, connecting the markets of Western Europe with the riches of the East. Their entrepreneurial spirit was as sharp as their swords. This exchange of goods and ideas had a profound impact on Viking society, exposing them to new technologies, beliefs, and artistic styles. The Viking Age was a time of both violence and cultural flourishing, a testament to their adaptability and their thirst for knowledge and wealth. The Viking Age saw the rise and fall of empires. Powerful figures emerged, leaving their mark on history. Some sought to consolidate their power in Scandinavia, while others ventured further afield, establishing kingdoms and dynasties on foreign shores. Canute the Great, a Viking warrior of exceptional ambition and skill, united England, Denmark, and Norway under his rule, creating a vast North Sea empire. His reign marked the zenith of Viking power, demonstrating their capacity for political organization and administration. But these empires, often forged through conquest and maintained through force, were inherently unstable. Internal strife, external pressures, and the shifting sands of political alliances led to their fragmentation and decline. The death of Canute the Great in 1035 AD ushered in a period of instability and fragmentation. His empire, fractured by rival claimants, gradually crumbled. The defeat of the Norwegian king, Harald Hardrada, at the Battle of Stamford Bridge in 1066 AD marked the end of large-scale Viking raids on England and the diminishing of their political power. The Viking Age, like all ages, was not destined to last. The same forces that had propelled the Vikings to such heights, their ambition, their martial prowess, their adaptability, would ultimately contribute to their decline. The waning light of their era cast long shadows. Internal strife, fueled by rivalries between powerful jarls and kings, weakened their grip on power. The very nature of their decentralized society, which had once been a source of strength, became a liability. Unity gave way to fragmentation. The lure of wealth and power, which had driven them to distant shores, also sowed the seeds of discord. Viking leaders, once united by a common purpose, found themselves increasingly at odds, their ambitions clashing like swords on a battlefield. The old ways, the values of honor and loyalty that had once bound them together, began to erode under the weight of ambition and greed. The Viking spirit, though far from extinguished, faced a new set of challenges, ones that would ultimately test their resilience to the core. The rise of Christianity across Europe presented a significant challenge to the Vikings' pagan beliefs. The new faith, with its emphasis on peace and forgiveness, stood in stark contrast to the Vikings' warrior ethos and their pantheon of warlike gods. Christian missionaries, often risking their lives, ventured into Viking territories, spreading the word of God and seeking to convert these fearsome warriors. Some Vikings, drawn to the promise of salvation and eager to integrate into the Christian kingdoms of Europe, embraced the new faith. Others, fiercely clinging to the traditions of their ancestors, resisted this cultural and spiritual shift. This clash of beliefs led to internal divisions and conflicts, further weakening Viking societies from within. The gradual conversion of Viking leaders, often for political expediency as much as religious conviction, had a profound impact on their culture. The old gods, once central to their worldview, were slowly eclipsed by the figure of Christ, forever altering the spiritual landscape of the Viking world. As the Viking Age progressed, the political landscape of Europe was undergoing a period of significant change. New powers were emerging, eager to challenge Viking dominance and secure their own borders against these formidable raiders. In England, the Norman conquest of 1066 AD marked a turning point. The Normans, themselves descended from Viking raiders who had settled in northern France, brought with them a sophisticated military organization and a determination to consolidate their control over the island. Across Europe, kingdoms were learning from Viking tactics and adapting their defenses. Fortified towns and castles, once vulnerable to Viking raids, became more difficult to overcome. The element of surprise, which had long been a key to Viking success, was diminishing. The Viking military advantage, once unparalleled, was slowly being eroded by these changing dynamics. The days of easy raids and swift victories were coming to an end. The Vikings, facing determined resistance and increasingly powerful enemies, found their influence waning on the world stage. The Viking Age may have drawn to a close, but its impact on history is undeniable. They were more than just raiders and conquerors, explorers, traders, settlers, and cultural innovators. Their voyages expanded medieval Europe's horizons. Trading networks brought wealth and new ideas. Their genes are woven into many nations. Norse language and artistic motifs inspire today. The Viking Age may be over, but their legacy lives on. The echoes of Viking axes have long faded from the shores of Europe. Their longships no longer haunt the seas, yet these fierce warriors and explorers from the north are far from forgotten. Their legacy, like the intricate knots of ancient runes, is woven into our world. They were skilled craftsmen, traders, poets, and storytellers. The Viking story is one of remarkable transformation. What began as raids for wealth and adventure evolved into something enduring. They ventured out to settle, rule, and leave their mark, establishing kingdoms in England, Ireland, France, and Russia, adopting local customs, converting to Christianity, and forging alliances. From feared raiders to rulers, they built lasting legacies. The Viking Age, though short-lived, left an indelible mark on the world. Their voyages expanded the geographical horizons of medieval Europe. Their longships enabled them to navigate treacherous waters and great rivers, facilitating trade and cultural exchange. Their artistic legacy is seen in intricate metalwork, jewelry, and enduring sagas. Viking DNA is woven into the genetic makeup of many nations, a testament to their far-reaching impact. The Viking Age may be over, but their spirit, courage, resilience, and thirst for discovery lives on. It can be seen in explorers who dare beyond the known and innovators who challenge human boundaries. The Vikings remind us that progress comes from venturing beyond comfort zones and learning from others. Their story is a testament to the human spirit's power to adapt and leave a lasting mark. As we face our own challenges, the Vikings remind us that exploration and resilience shape our future.